Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt. And, well, this is Winnie.
Huh? What?
What?
Oh, sorry, I'm just, emailing. I've got a lot of work to do, so
Okay.
I just have to get it all done.
Wait a second. Is that your tablet?
Yeah? What's wrong with it?
It's separated all along here.
It's fine. I can still technically use it. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
but that means that the battery inside is bulging, and that is very unsafe.
Wait, that's not a good thing? I thought it was just like,
You thought the battery was getting bigger and
Yeah,
you could,
I mean, it's fine. I can still use it.
No, well, the battery bulging means that it could potentially catch fire or explode, and it's actually very dangerous, and it's maybe time that you need to think about, getting rid of that or replacing it.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't still be using it. That's why it kind of zaps me sometimes.
I don't think that's why it zaps you,
Oh.
but I do think it's a dangerous thing to keep around when you have a phone or any electronic that has a bulging battery, because I have seen some YouTube videos of very dangerous situations with lots of fire, and it could burn down your home or, cause some serious damage.
Maybe it's time I get a new tablet.
I think it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, today we are learning about how batteries can catch fire and how they can be quite dangerous if you're not looking after them in the right way. So let's take a look at this article called Battery, Battery, Burning Bright.
Thanks to their high efficiency, lithium-ion batteries are the #1 choice for powering most modern technologies, from smartphones to electric vehicles. However, the batteries come with a major issue. If they catch fire, the flames are extremely difficult to put out. When a lithium-ion battery becomes too hot, its internal chemical reactions begin to rapidly speed up. This creates more heat, which in turn fuels more reactions. In a flash, temperatures can rise sharply, producing flames that burn above 530 degrees Celsius. What's more, some materials in the battery release oxygen as they break down, further feeding the fire. This makes putting such fires out very tricky. For example, it takes 10 times more water to put out a burning electric car than a gasoline-powered one.
Hi there. Today we are looking at this article titled Battery, Battery, Burning Bright.
Right. Usually we say, stars are burning bright, but you don't want your battery burning bright. And what is a battery? Of course, a battery is a source of energy and electricity used to operate or power something. So, for example, we both have phones. We need to have a battery for that phone. So I need to charge my phone because the battery is at 5%. The lowest I'll let my battery get to is probably like 20%. Anything lower than that just makes me really nervous.
Yeah, I think I'm about the same.
Yeah.
I rarely let my battery get below that, and I even carry around an extra battery or a power bank to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All right, continuing with the article. Thanks to their high efficiency, lithium-ion batteries are the #1 choice for powering most modern technologies, from smartphones to electric vehicles. Okay, so we mentioned efficiency, and efficiency is a noun, and it means the characteristic of being efficient. So efficient means achieving the maximum productivity or output with the minimum waste. So doing the most while wasting the least.
Right.
So when we say a battery is efficient, it means it can last for a long time and provide a lot of power without maybe wasting energy by creating heat or other ways of wasting energy.
Right.
So we have another example sentence. To increase efficiency, she organized her most important tasks.
Right, because for people, we can also be very efficient when we work. You're not gonna kind of spend a lot of time doing a task if you know there's an easier way to do it. Okay, so continuing on with the article. However, the batteries come with a major issue. If they catch fire, the flames are extremely difficult to put out. And of course, when we talk about putting out a fire, we're talking about extinguishing it, making sure the fire doesn't spread. And we're talking about it being really extremely difficult to put out. And when we use extremely as an adverb, we're saying it's a way of saying something really, really severe, something really intense. So for example, when the weather is extremely hot, we need to drink more water. So we're not just talking about, oh, it's like 28 degrees. Like we're talking extremely hot. So we're talking probably like 35 degrees. So it's even more hot than the regular hot.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一篇文章是关于锂离子电池着火为何难以扑灭。那我们先来看 battery 这个字，就表示电池。Lithium ion battery 表示锂离子电池。那么 Matt 老师刚刚在解释电池时，他还有提到 power bank。power bank 就可以指行动电源。好，那么课文一开始提到，由于效率高，锂离子电池是智慧型手机到电动车等大多数现代科技的首选电源。但这种电池有一个大问题，它一旦着火，火焰就会很难扑灭。Winnie 老师这时候用到一个动词来表达扑灭 ，extinguish。extinguish 可以表达熄灭、扑灭，或是表达使什么消亡的意思。那么课文单字 efficiency 它表示效能、效率或功效。Matt 老师在解释单字时提到 productivity， 在 product 后面加上 ivity， 那这个名词可以指生产力或者是生产效率。再看到 extremely。这个副词表示极其或非常。这边还有一个重点是 put out 的不同意思跟用法。首先 put out 可以表达扑灭或熄灭，像扑灭着火的物体呀，熄灭香烟，它还可以表达关灯的意思。举例来说 ，The fire was put out immediately and nobody was injured。火势马上就被扑灭，没有人受伤。第二个，我们可以用 put out 来表达发行、推出，像是发行推出新产品，或是表达出版、生产的意思。那主词会是人或是公司。例如 ，The singer is going to put out a new album next month。那位歌手下个月要推出新专辑。那接话课文中
When a lithium-ion battery becomes too hot, its internal chemical reactions begin to rapidly speed up.
Right.
This creates more heat, which in turn fuels more reactions.
Right. So, like for example, if you had a fire in a bonfire, you could probably just put some sand or some water.
That's right, because they need oxygen, they need air for the fire to keep going.
Yeah, but for these lithium-ion batteries, it's not the same.
That's right. They don't need the oxygen because the chemicals inside provide the energy for the fire themselves.
Right, so continuing on, in a flash, temperatures can rise sharply, producing flames that burn above 530 degrees Celsius. Yikes, that pizza would burn quickly in that oven.
Yes.
What's more, some materials in the battery release oxygen as they break down, further feeding the fire. And like you said, fire needs oxygen, fire loves oxygen, and this surely doesn't help with putting out a fire.
Certainly not. This makes putting such fires out very tricky. For example, it takes 10 times more water to put out a burning electric car than a gasoline-powered one.
Wow.
And that is surprising because even, gasoline-powered cars have gasoline inside them, which also fuels fires.
Yeah.
当锂离子电池过热时，它内部的化学反应会开始迅速加速，这会产生更多热量，进而引发更多反应。那么瞬间温度可能会飙升，产生的火焰高达摄氏530度以上。那我们刚刚有说进而怎么样，还有瞬间怎么样，我们这边要来看两个重点。第一个是 in turn 的不同意思跟用法。第一个它可以表达接着、进而、因而怎么样怎么样，通常是用来表达某一行动或事件影响后续情况，强调它的因果关系。例如 Creating a comfortable environment will help employees concentrate better and will in turn increase efficiency. 创造一个舒适的环境将有助于员工更专心，进而提升效率。 第二个，我们可以用 in turn 来表达依序地、轮流地，它是表达依序进行的语义。例如 ，The man introduced himself and shook hands with each of us in turn。那位男士自我介绍，然后依序跟我们每个人握手。那第二个重点是 in a flash， 它可以表达转瞬间或是立刻。Flash 当名词表示闪耀、闪光，在这边就是用灯光闪烁来形容说某事在极短时间内发生。例如 ，The tickets sold out in a flash， 门票立刻销售一空。好，那么课文接着提到说，电池中的某些材料在分解过程中会释放氧气，进一步助长火势。那这使得扑灭这类火灾变得非常棘手。而在讲到火的时候 ，Winnie 老师提到 bonfire。bonfire， 那这个名词它表示篝火或引火的意思。接回课文中。
Wow, so that's really crazy. But I'm glad that we're really learning about these because a lot of people don't know how dangerous it could be if your lithium-ion battery catches fire.
So it's something to be aware of and something that we need to learn, more about how you can deal with it or how you can prepare for, to avoid that.
Yeah,
basically.
Hopefully it doesn't happen and you don't need these, but it's always good to know. So let's take a quick break.
Fires can also start up again minutes or even hours after they've been put out, as damaged battery cells continue to create heat. Today, firefighters rely on special equipment to put out lithium-ion fires. For most people, however, prevention is the best defense. Avoid leaving batteries in extreme heat, do not leave devices charging unattended, and use only approved chargers. As our world becomes increasingly powered by these batteries, handling them responsibly is more important than ever.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about lithium-ion batteries, which are in most of our cell phones and other devices, and what can happen if they catch fire. So they can cause fires that are up to 530 degrees Celsius.
Crazy.
And these fires are very hard to put out because once they're burning, they're having chemical reactions that create oxygen. So you can't just pour water on it to remove the oxygen because it has its own oxygen source. So because of that, electric cars with lithium-ion batteries take 10 times the amount of water to put out once they're on fire than a gasoline-powered car.
Right. So I definitely did not know it would get up to that high of a degree, but it's good to know. So continuing with our article, fires can also start up again minutes or even hours after they've been put out, as damaged battery cells continue to create heat. So a lot of the times when we're, for example, camping, it's it's the responsible thing to put out the fire so that eventually it doesn't start a forest fire. But once you put that fire out, I'm pretty certain that it's not going to start again. And when you put out a lithium-ion battery out, if it was on fire, you might think it's out now, but hours later it might start up again.
That's right. Today, firefighters rely on special equipment to put out lithium-ion fires. For most people, however, prevention is the best defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have special equipment. So equipment is a noun, and it's a word that just means the things required for a certain task or job. So you could have sports equipment, which is the things that you need to play a sport. I have a bag full of my football equipment. It's the things that I use, like my boots, my football shorts, and my football shirts. Those are the things I need when I go to play football. So those are the things needed for a specific activity or task. An example sentence: the equipment in the gym is all in good condition.
Right, and as you know, we all know that firemen and firefighters, they all have special equipment to fight fires so that, it's repellent against fire. But apparently this doesn't cut it for lithium batteries. It's because, as we know, there is a chemical reaction in those batteries, and it's not enough for their own, firefighting clothes and things like that, because the fire is probably a lot hotter. So the best way to really kind of solve this issue is prevention. And prevention means the action of stopping something from happening. So before it even happens, let's try and stop it from happening. So for example, regular exercise is good for the prevention of heart disease. So in this case, instead of, having to fight fires from a lithium-ion battery, it's better to, let's make sure it doesn't even happen. So continuing on with the article, avoid leaving batteries in extreme heat, do not leave devices charging unattended, and use only approved chargers. Now that last one is probably the thing that gets a lot of people, because a lot of the times maybe you lose your charger, or you think, I'll save this expensive charger and just buy a cheap one so that I can bring it around. But a lot of people don't realize that that might be the thing that's kind of causes harm.
Well, yeah, most phones these days actually don't even come with a charger anymore.
Right.
So you might be using the charger from your old phone to charge your new phone, and that might not be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a word there which is device, and device is a noun, and it means a thing or a tool that is designed for a specific purpose. So we usually only use this word for electric or mechanical things. So you might hear on the airplane when they say, please turn off your electronic devices when we're taking off. So those are devices. We usually don't use it for things that aren't either electric or mechanical, so things that don't have moving parts, like you wouldn't usually say this hammer is a device.
Right.
All right, so we have an example sentence. He used a special device to measure water temperature. All right, continuing on. As our world becomes increasingly powered by these batteries, handling them responsibly is more important than ever.
刚刚说要扑灭这一类火灾很棘手，那更令人头痛的是，这个火势还可能在扑灭后几分钟甚至几小时后再次燃起，因为受损的电池芯会持续产生热能。那么现在消防员是靠特殊装备来扑灭锂离子火灾，但是对大多数的人来说，预防才是最好的防御。大家就要避免把电池放在极高温的环境当中，然后也不要让装置是在无人看管的情况下来充电。而且呢，要使用经过认证的充电器。好，单字 equipment 它是名词，表示设备、装备。注意它是不可数名词。Prevention 这个名词表示预防。Device 表示装置、仪器或设备。介华课文中。
And today we are ending the episode with a what do you think? What are some of the other dangers of modern technology you can think of?
I think, another danger of modern technology is distraction. And that's being distracted by your phone either while walking down the street or by driving a car. When people are looking at their phones while they're trying to do other things, and it's creating danger for those people and other people around them.
Right. I think that a lot of the times we think that, yes, technology is a really great way to solve a lot of our problems, but it can also be the thing that causes us to be distracted and maybe not pay attention to where we're going. But that's the end of today's episode. We hope you learned something. Remember, do not use chargers that are unapproved of your phone brand. And also, the best way to put out lithium battery fires is to prevent them.
That's right. So get rid of those old devices that you don't need anymore because they could cause you some trouble.
I'm throwing it away. Don't worry. I'm recycling it. See you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Thanks to their high efficiency, lithium-ion batteries are the #1 choice for powering most modern technologies, from smartphones to electric vehicles. However, the batteries come with a major issue. If they catch fire, the flames are extremely difficult to put out. When a lithium-ion battery becomes too hot, its internal chemical reactions begin to rapidly speed up. This creates more heat, which in turn fuels more reactions. In a flash, temperatures can rise sharply, producing flames that burn above 530 degrees Celsius. What's more, some materials in the battery release oxygen as they break down, further feeding the fire. This makes putting such fires out very tricky. For example, it takes 10 times more water to put out a burning electric car than a gasoline-powered one. Fires can also start up again minutes or even hours after they've been put out, as damaged battery cells continue to create heat. Today, firefighters rely on special equipment to put out lithium-ion fires. For most people, however, prevention is the best defense. Avoid leaving batteries in extreme heat, do not leave devices charging unattended, and use only approved chargers. As our world becomes increasingly powered by these batteries, handling them responsibly is more important than ever.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 battery 是名词，表示电池 ；efficiency 名词，表示效能、效率或功效 ；extremely 是副词，可以表达极其怎么样、非常怎么样 ；equipment 名词，表示设备、装备。Prevention 是名词，表示预防 ；device 也是名词，它可以表达装置、仪器或是设备。文法的部分，我们第一个学到 put out 的不同意思及用法。那首先，它可以指扑灭，像扑灭着火的物体，或是表达熄灭，可能像熄灭香烟，还可以表达关灯的意思。第二个，它可以指发行、推出，可能是推出新产品，或是表达出版、生产。接着我们学到 in turn 的不同意思及用法，那它可以表达接着、进而、因而怎么样，还可以表达依序地、轮流地。第三个我们学到 in a flash， 它表示转瞬间或是立刻的意思。那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Snack time. I am hungry. Hey, stop it!
What?
Why did you pull my Guai Guai off of my screen?
I'm hungry.
That Guai Guai is not actually for eating.
What do you mean? They're all edible, you know.
It's a superstition. It's a ritual that a lot of Taiwanese people do. So basically, Guai Guai in Chinese means to behave.
Right.
Or to be obedient. So a lot of people that work with technology or machines and they want it to work properly, they will put a Guai Guai on the thing that they're using.
Oh, so you want your computer to behave, so you put a Guai Guai on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I could also put like a red one or a yellow one too.
No. It only works for green. What does green mean?
Green is, you know, money and go for like a traffic light.
Yes, green is also good, right?
Right.
But red is for danger. So something bad is gonna happen. So if you put a red one, you're like,
Stop working.
yeah, you're telling the machine to stop working.
Okay.
And a yellow doesn't work either. Because imagine, yellow is usually like
Slow down.
or a warning.
Oh.
So red and yellow are definitely, you don't use those.
Okay. Well, I am still hungry though.
Well, if you're really hungry, there is some other colored Guai Guai, and I'm gonna put this back so my computer doesn't crash.
Sorry. Look, I get it. I'm not supposed to eat a green one, but I still really am craving a green one.
Oh, if you really want a green one, then you can go downstairs and buy one yourself.
Fine. Well, there you have it, folks. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and DM or email us if you have any questions about how to say something in English. Kiki, do you have anything you want to say?
I didn't know the red ones were spicy.
No. Well, there you have it.
See you later.